This is a bookable summary of the book, Never Split the Difference by Voss and Tahl. Do you ever feel like you struggle to get what you want out of negotiations? Maybe you've had a disagreement with a friend or colleague and ended up on the losing side. Well, fear not. The article above is here to help you become a master negotiator. It covers techniques that you can use in your everyday life to make the most out of your negotiations, drawing on the expertise of Voss, a former lead FBI negotiation expert. So get ready to learn some valuable skills and boost your confidence in any negotiation. The art of effective negotiation. Let's talk about negotiation. It's not just for lawyers or business people. It's a part of everyday life, from getting your kids to bed on time to making a deal at work. Negotiation is all around us. So how can you become a successful negotiator? Well, the first step is to recognize that negotiation is a regular part of life. But here's the thing. People are not always rational when negotiating. Studies have shown that our behavior is often influenced by cognitive biases, those pesky little psychological mechanisms that make us act impulsively and irrationally. Even our rational thoughts are often influenced by irrational ones. That's why it's essential to understand human nature when negotiating. One crucial technique for effective negotiation is listening. Actively and empathetically listening can help you gain insights into the other person's thought process and feelings. By doing so, you can understand their motives and use this knowledge to your advantage. So here are some techniques to put active listening into practice and become an effective negotiator. The power of active listening. Have you ever heard of mirroring? It's a technique that can help you build trust with someone. It's when you repeat someone's words or behavior, and it conveys the message that you understand them. For example, when a waiter repeats your order at a restaurant, it shows they got it. And when you repeat someone's words during negotiation, it can make them feel like you get them too. Building trust is crucial in negotiations. It can help you understand the other person's wants and needs, and predict how they'll act. That's where active listening comes in. It involves listening to your counterpart without your own biases getting in the way. By making the other person feel heard and understood, you can create a safe space for both parties to discuss their needs and wants. Mirroring is just one of the many techniques you can use to build trust during your negotiations. By copying the other person's behavior or words, you can make them feel like you're similar to them, and this generates trust and encourages them to talk more. Your voice can also play a significant role in building trust during negotiations. There are two tones to focus on here: positive and playful, and the late-night FM DJ voice. The positive and playful tone should be your default voice. It conveys a positive attitude that encourages collaboration. When you smile while you speak, your voice will have an easygoing tone, perfect for negotiations. The late-night FM DJ voice, on the other hand, should be used selectively. It conveys authority without triggering defensiveness and communicates that you're in control of the situation. To build trust during negotiations, try to mirror your counterpart's words and behavior, use a positive and playful tone, and use the late-night FM DJ voice selectively. By doing so, you can create a safe space for both parties to discuss their wants and needs and ultimately reach a successful negotiation. If you're finding this video to be enjoyable, show your support by liking it and subscribing to my channel for even more fantastic content. Your encouragement means everything and drives me to keep creating videos for you. The power of tactical empathy, building trust through emotional intelligence. What if I told you that you could use empathy as a tool to influence others and create a better outcome for yourself? Let me explain. Tactical empathy involves understanding and validating another person's emotions, and it can be a game changer in negotiations. By using this approach, you can diffuse any negative feelings and build trust with your counterpart. To practice tactical empathy, start by becoming more aware of body language and voice inflections. When you can pick up on subtle cues, you can formulate labels to acknowledge your counterpart's emotions. By taking yourself out of the equation and using phrases like, "it sounds like," or "it looks like," you demonstrate a selfless and empathetic interest. For example, let's say you're discussing your salary with your boss, but they're not budging. Instead of getting defensive and insisting on your achievements, try saying something like, "it sounds like you're under pressure from upper management." By doing so, you show that you understand their position, and they're more likely to understand yours. Empathy is a human instinct that can help you create meaningful connections and healthy relationships. By using tactical empathy, you can influence others' actions to your advantage and get what you want. So next time you're in a negotiation, try putting yourself in the other person's shoes and see how it can benefit both of you. After all, everybody wants to be understood. Embracing the power of no in negotiations. We've talked a lot about the positive side of negotiating so far, but now it's time to delve into the negative. And by negative, we mean the power of saying no. It may seem counterintuitive, but sometimes hearing that two-letter word can actually work in your favor. When used strategically, No can give you control of the negotiation and help clarify what you want and don't want. It can also buy you time to think over things and persuade your counterpart to see things your way. And don't forget, your counterpart has the right to say no too, which can actually give them the illusion of control and help them feel more comfortable with the negotiation process. So how can you use no to your advantage? One tactic is to ask questions that will elicit a no response from your counterpart. For example, if you're negotiating for a salary raise with your boss and they initially deny your request, you could ask them if they're dissatisfied with your work or if you've been underperforming. This puts the decision-making power back in their hands, but also nudges them towards a corner where they may not have many other options. Of course, saying no can be hard to do because it's often seen as mean or confrontational. But in the context of negotiations, it can actually create a safe space for everyone involved to express their true desires and feelings. So don't be afraid to embrace the power of no and use it as a tool to uncover what your counterpart really wants. By seeking out and expressing negativity, you can ultimately get close to your goal of a real, committed yes. Negotiating with leverage, using time and fairness to your advantage. So you've probably heard that compromise is the key to resolving conflicts. But what if I told you it could leave both parties dissatisfied and pushed into a corner? Instead, let's explore some tactics to avoid compromising and create leverage that works in your favor. The first tool in your arsenal is time. By setting deadlines, you can create pressure and force your counterpart to make quick decisions. Most deadlines are flexible, so you can use your time to your advantage without feeling rushed yourself. Let's say you're negotiating a salary raise with your boss. If they ask for some time, give them a specific date to make a decision. If they don't meet your request by then, you can consider looking for a new job that appreciates your worth. The second tool is fairness. Emotions play a big role in decision-making, even if we think we're being logical. By appealing to a sense of fairness, you can influence your counterpart's perception of the negotiation. For instance, if your boss offers a counteroffer instead of the salary raise you requested, you could say, "You just want what's fair." It's a defensive accusation that can make them feel uncomfortable and question their actions. Another way to use fairness is to drop the word early in the negotiation. By saying you want to be fair, you show that you're taking their perspective into account and build trust from the start. Remember, people are emotional creatures, and by understanding and working with their emotions, you can get one step closer to what you want. With the right tools and tactics, you can negotiate with leverage and come out on top. Unleash the power of the black swan in negotiations. Negotiations can be unpredictable and full of surprises. Sometimes, these surprises can give you an advantage in getting what you want. In negotiations, a black swan represents something unexpected and unknown that can tip the scales in your favor. So, how can you identify and use black swans to your advantage? First, it's important to understand that there are things you know, things you think you know, and things you don't know. It's the things you don't know that can be your black swan. To uncover them, you need to ask a lot of questions and pay attention to nonverbal cues. It's easier to do this in person rather than through email, where people have more time to think about their responses. Once you've uncovered a black swan, you need to use it to your advantage. If you have something that your counterpart wants, you have positive leverage. If you can identify what they want, you can ask them for something in return. Negative leverage is more of a threat, where you can make them lose something if they don't accept your offer. This should be used with caution as it can result in a toxic negotiation. Normative leverage is when you use your counterpart's set of rules and moral principles to your advantage. If you can identify discrepancies between their words and actions, you can use this in your advantage. Remember, perception is key in negotiations. Stay alert and be on the lookout for anything that can give you unexpected information about your counterpart. By using black swans to your advantage, you can gain leverage and get what you want. We hope this video provided valuable insights and information for you. Which negotiation technique do you find the most effective? Using positive leverage or normative leverage? Let us know in the comments. And if you learned something new in this video, make sure to hit the button and subscribe for more videos. Thank you, and until next time.